there's a lot of congestion going into the home stretch. And as part of the trade team, what's great about having President Trump on side is he's created maximum leverage. So by telling our trading partners that they could boomerang back to the April 2nd date, I think it's really going to move things along the next couple of days and weeks.
That's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox News Sunday, touting the, quote, maximum leverage President Trump has created as the trade deadline for multiple countries is just 3 days away. For more on this, let's bring in former Trump Economic Policy Acting Assistant Secretary and former Labor Department Chief Economist under President George W. Bush, Diana Furchtgott-Roth. Diana, welcome.
It's great to be with you, Mike.
So President Trump has teased that some tariff letters are going out tomorrow, potentially 12 or so. What are your expectations?
Well, we still have another 12 to 24 hours before he sends out these letters, and you never know what the Europeans are going to do. I mean, he threatened Canada when Canada imposed a digital tax on U.S. companies. And guess what? Canada rolled back its digital tax. And there are things the president wants from Europe. For example, President Trump has just rolled back a lot of these green energy regulations on American companies. But Europe wants to keep them and make them worse. They want American companies to reveal all their own climate emissions, the climate emissions of their contractors, the climate emissions of the contractors' contractors. I mean, it's impossible. And if there's one little mistake, guess what? They hit our companies with millions of dollars in fines. President Trump wants them to roll back this tax. And guess what? They might do it. And then he might not give them those letters.
President Trump teased or set a July 9th deadline for trade deals. That is Wednesday of this week. So Scott Bessent, forgive me, actually Kevin Hassett from the White House talked about it today. Let's play it. I'll get you to react.
You know, the United States is always willing to talk to everybody about everything that's going on in the world. And there are deadlines and there are things that are close. And so maybe things will push back past the deadline, or maybe they won't. In the end, the president's going to make that judgment.
Trade deals are quite complicated. Is the key showing progress?
Well, yes, we find that a lot of these countries are coming in and they are giving in on certain taxes that are imposed on American companies and certain regulations that the president wants to roll back. I mean, the president is using these tariffs as negotiating leverage. And that's what he's doing. He's been very successful. We saw it with Canada. We might see it with Europe. We've seen it with other countries, too. And he's representing the United States in these issues.
President Trump's signature legislation was signed into law on the 4th of July. What do you expect the economic impact to be?
This is going to be really terrific, Mike. I mean, this is such a pro-growth bill. I mean, it gives certainty as the tax rates. It increases the estate tax exemption so that families don't have to worry about losing their farms and small businesses don't have to worry. It grows the economy. You know, as I was coming over, I was talking to Anthony, who has his own car company. He's an entrepreneur, and he said, all I want to do is live and pay my bills, pay my rent, and look after my kids. This bill is going to expand business in the United States, so people like Anthony get more business for his car company. And let me tell you, he was ecstatic that auto loans are now going to be deductible, interest on auto loans.
147,000 jobs added in the last jobs report, beating expectations. What's your reaction?
Well, these jobs have continued to be high, despite prognostications that the jobs creation was going to go down, and they have kept at around 140, 150,000 jobs a month. And economists should look at how they are predicting. They're not taking into account that regulations are being reduced under President Trump, and that's adding to economic growth. And also the certainty with the lower tax rates, that's adding to economic growth. It means people are more confident about expanding, about buying more things, about employing other people. And that means people have more jobs and a higher income.
Diana, thank you very much for your analysis today.
It's great to be with you, Mike.